Hey, this is Victor Antonio, and welcome to another Sales Dictionary Phrase of the Day. Today we want to talk about call-to-connect ratio. Now, call-to-connect ratio, or sometimes called a dial-to-connection ratio, is a measure of how many calls you made and how many actual conversations you were able to have with the person you intended to speak with. Now, I say intended to speak with because if you try to reach a decision maker but end up speaking to the administrative assistant, is that a real connection? Now, that's a matter of definition each company has to deal with. Does a connection or conversation count if it isn't with a decision maker? Now, there's a bunch of data out there on what C2C call-to-connection ratio should be, and each one varies by industry. That said, my meta-analysis shows that the average sales rep will make on average 50 calls per day. The number of conversations that those dials yield is around 4, which means that their call-to-connection ratio, their C2C, is 8%. That's 4 connections divided by 50, or as a ratio 1 to 12, 1 connection for every 12 calls. Now, getting better call-to-connection ratios is getting tougher because of the overwhelming number of calls clients or prospects receive in a day. Now, most send all calls to voicemail unless they know your caller ID. So here's one interesting strategy that may provide a little lift in your call-to-connection ratio. If you use a phone number with the same area code when calling, you may get more connections. But even that strategy will eventually run its course. That said, the only way to improve your C2C is to simply keep dialing and keep calling. And that is it for today's Phrase of the Day. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.